games, but he's still getting an MRI, which is some, kind of strange behavior. Again, like we talk about a player that played 9 minutes and then had to go to the locker room. Like, what is that?
You got to get an MRI if you have stuff wrong with your calf, because it can obviously like affect the Achilles. So they just want to be cautious. I do have firsthand experience. You want to see my scar? It's been a year. No cap. It's been a year since my surgery.
Yay!
Yesterday was a year since my surgery. So,
are you back and better?
That's what I was about to say.
Nearly, very nearly. Like it's like we're getting there.
Like after the rehab, whatever shape. Like
me, I'm doing rehab. Me, I've been doing rehab.
For sure. For sure. Like, yeah, you said you would be able to see me at this time, and you cannot.
Morgan, I don't even need to be at 100%. I can be at like 77%, 75%, like to get you right. So come on.
I'd take 5 pod. I'm currently at my parents' abode, parents' home, right? So I'm gonna try and keep it the least passionate that I can. But this is an emergency meeting that I've called you to. There have been some things that have transpired within the National Basketball Association that I simply cannot condone. There are things that have transpired in the National Basketball Association that I simply cannot let go by without addressing. But I'd like to start on a positive note. We have Luka Doncic, right? So we had that trade going to the Los Angeles Lakers. And what I meant to pull up and have ready for y'all is the amount of games that we've won since Luka has been here, right? Because it's been evident that, JJ Redick, AR-15, LeBron James, they're playing some good basketball. So let me count these wins out. Just got through beating the Clippers and the Wolves, of course. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 in a row. No, 5. Yep, 5 in a row. All right. Started with the Blazers, beat up on the Nuggets. Good win against the Mavs. That was a tough one. Kyrie's playing out of his mind this year. Timberwolves, of course, tough team, even though Ant-Man got ejected. And then you have Kawhi coming back versus the Clippers. So just talk to me, guys. I mean, how are our Lakers looking? Like, are the rumors true? Are we going back to the that third round? Are we contenders now?
I'll say maybe contenders for the third round. I don't think that we are championship contenders. Just because I don't think the roster's filled out enough to be championship contenders. Like, we do have a lot of good players, but I don't know. It was tough to see the the Mark Williams trade get rescinded, because that mattered a lot to Lakers' success for this year. But I don't think it was necessarily about this year when they were making this trade in the first place. So I'm not really mad at it, but I wouldn't say they're contenders for the championship this year. I don't think so.
I mean, with Luka and LeBron, you have to be contenders. Like, LeBron's only playing for the chip at this point. Luka has all the accolades and all the stats. He's playing to win the championship, especially right now with LeBron. He's probably looking at this like, whoa, this is a good chance, for me to really like up my legacy. Like, I got LeBron.
I think that they want to win. Like, I'm not saying that they're gonna like mail it in, or they don't think that they can win. I just don't think that they will. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't think that we will beat the Celtics in the series. Like, I'll actually be shocked to see that.
But I don't be a contender. Like,
I don't think we will beat the Nuggets. I don't even think that we can beat the Nuggets in the series. Not this year. I don't think so.
The defense is in the highest rating in the last 2 weeks.
Who?
The Lakers.
Oh no, yeah, Lakers have been playing well. I agree. Lakers are definitely better. Like, we've been playing well for a while now. Even when Anthony Davis was hurt, we were playing well. So, like, to add in Luka is obviously going to make us better than how we were playing. But I don't think that we will beat the Celtics in the series. I don't think we'll beat the Nuggets. I think that we could definitely take the Thunder or the Rockets. Like, I think that.
That's possible.
let me address something really quick, Julian, because I know you're not a regular season viewer or care really, but we beat the Nuggets by 23. And but what was most shocking about it though, we held Jokic to 12, 13, and 10.
Are you talking about the other day?
Yeah.
I saw the game. I don't like. I just like said I don't care. Like
2 of 7 shooting. No, I understand what you're saying, but also understand we don't beat Denver at all in the regular season. Like that doesn't happen at all. And this was a situation where our defensive scheme, led by JJ Redick, I'll give him his credit again. And
talk to him.
I'm just saying, do you think that Joker in the playoff series is going to take 7 shots?
No, not at all. I'm just saying.
That's all I want to know, because like this is why I don't care, because like this really holds no weight when we talk about what will happen in the future. Like if we play Joker in the playoffs, like he's going to eat us alive. Like we don't have anyone for him. We have no one who can even be like.
That's fair.
There's no one who has a chance.
That's a fair prediction to make. All I'm saying is, again, we don't beat these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Fine.
So to see that happen in the fashion that it did, it shows me this is a different team. It has a different defensive scheme. JJ Redick is a different coach. I mean, he's obviously seen something different with this group that he's been able to capitalize on. So I'm like,
especially AR, like having that third option right now is huge, especially when Luka and LeBron or LeBron at least is trying to, facilitate. But I mean, he's still scoring too. Like he's averaging 25. Pretty sure his points per game have went up like by a lot. LeBron's.
Oh, I think you're talking about AR.
But AR, he's got to be in the 20s by now. At this point, was he 19?
He's like 19?
Yeah, he's out there.
That's a very good third option. Like if you have defense with that scoring, I don't know why you want to be contenders. I'm just saying, especially with Luka and LeBron. I know names are overrated, but it's Luka and LeBron. Luka was in the finals last year. LeBron in the finals for half of his career. Like, come on.
I agree that the Lakers are going to be a tough out. I think that, but I don't think that I don't think that we can win the championship this year, and that's what I'm considering a contender.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying. We could make the finals if the draw is correct. Like if we get the correct draw in the playoffs, yeah, we can make the finals. But if we make the finals and see the Celtics, no.
But you don't know the Celtics are going to be there. They get hurt.
They may not. That's what I'm saying.
These are all what if.
Things could work out. I'm just saying if everything is level, you know what I'm saying? Like if the playing field is level, like no injuries, no like
that doesn't happen.
Huh?
Ian's right.
Yeah, that doesn't happen, but we can't predict it. I can't predict that happening either. Like I can't be like, oh, like Jaylen Brown's he's gonna break his foot. Like,
Morgan does it all the time, bro. Like just ask Morgan. He predicts the injuries.
I can't
predicting that Kawhi's gonna get hurt. Like,
but Julian, like just for example though, like so full 3 rounds. You think everybody on the Knicks roster is gonna be healthy?
Who?
The Knicks roster. If they were 3 rounds of playoff basketball, you think everybody on that team coming out of that?
It would be unlikely because they play for 50 minutes a night.
So but again, we get well besides the point.
Yeah.
I think Ian's right, and I think Julian, to unpack your argument a little bit more. I mean, let's talk about just the holes in the roster just for a second, right? You mentioned the Williams trade not going through. I mean, everybody's talking about how the Lakers, they just need a center. Like we can't be a true contending team without a center. How truthful do y'all believe that to be? We got Jackson Hayes in the middle, and we got some Vando down there and Alex Len now.
I don't think it's really that important, like in my opinion. I mean, it might be like when you face like Jokic or like maybe like OKC. But like there's teams like the Warriors up there who want small ball. Like I think the Warriors are gonna go deep in the playoffs. Like I don't think a center is end all be all for you to make it to the finals. I don't.
Definitely has never been for a Warriors team. But haven't always had to face
you don't have any defenders.
You're top ready in defense. Why do you keep saying
this is the playoffs is much different. Like we're going to have to sit down and guard people, right? So that means guys who don't want to guard. LeBron is going to have to sit down and guard for a full game.
LeBron has been playing really good defense.
Dude, but he's gonna have to. I'm saying he has to do this. LeBron usually takes the worst matchup on the court. Not facts.
I mean, like that's not. I don't know if that's true.
He started stuttering.
That's typical for the last. It's been a while since LeBron has like stepped up and took a defensive matchup. That probably hasn't happened since he was on like the Heat.
LeBron is
Like,
40, yeah, so like it's not a slight. Like,
it's not. Like I'm just saying, being real. Like he's gonna have to sit down and guard. Luka is going to have to sit down and guard. He doesn't want to have to do that. Austin Reeves is gonna have to sit down and guard. He's not. He's never been particularly good at that. Like we've seen that for a while. Who else? Like who else? Rui Hachimura is gonna have to guard, which is fine. Like Vanderbilt, which is nice. Yeah, Vanderbilt, which is nice. He can guard, but I'm just saying, like we're gonna be facing these teams with a bunch of wings and prolific guards who are scorers, and our best players are gonna have to guard because they're gonna be the ones who are playing. Like LeBron, Luka, those guys are gonna have to play well on defense for us to have a chance to win.
You don't remember
no big man.
You don't
So
remember You don't remember that Warriors series where Jared Vanderbilt and like I forget who else it was. They were running like a boxing one on Curry. Like you don't remember that?
You put the blanket on that, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, like that was
Schroeder,
years ago.
Think,
that was like 3 years ago. Yeah, that was like 3. Yeah,
nice.
That was like 3 years ago, and we had Schroeder, Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, and who else was who was playing big man? I forget. Who's other?
Okay, but we definitely had.
It was not. It's not the same. Now we don't have anyone to guard really, except for Vanderbilt and I guess Rui.
But you know, again,
and no paint. We have no paint presence.
You don't like the regular season, but every statistic, right? Every trend that we've seen about this Lakers team says that they're good at defense, right?
No, and they've been playing
LeBron
better.
James, Luka Doncic, even hike up the shorts and slide their puppies. So,
but we were good at defense last year too.
We didn't have these guys. These two.
We had Anthony Davis though, like who made us way better on defense, and like we still got cooked in the playoffs. Like, why are we looking like that at Anthony Davis? Like it's not like he was going dummy.
You got it.
What? I didn't say it. I'm not refuting it. Like,
yeah, like I don't understand. Like, are we expecting Luka to play much better than Anthony Davis did last year in the playoffs? Is that
there's levels? There's levels though. Like we know there's.
Wait, Julian. The expectation, yes. The expectation, yes. Not much.
You're setting him up for failure. Then I'm just saying,
two-way player.
He averaged like 30. Bro, he averaged almost like 32 and like 15 in multiple blocks.
Well, yeah. What are we talking about? He's a two-way player. I understand. So when we talk about the defensive end, like I'm not talking about.
I'm just talking about in general. I don't think that it's going to be. It's not night and day. Like, it's not going to be night and day from last year.
Bro, Luka Doncic is supposed. He is a perennial MVP candidate when he's on the floor playing.
For sure, because of what he does on the offensive end and with the ball in his hands. I agree. Like because of what he does with the ball in his hands and on the offensive end, we do look at him like that. But I'm just being real. Like if we're talking about how well we played last year or how well our guys played last year, like we shouldn't be expecting much more from Luka than what Anthony Davis gave us last year. That would be ridiculous.
I mean, I think Luka just makes your role players better. Like in essence, like they have to guard Luka with two people. That just makes it easier for everyone else.
Oh, that I agree. He will elevate our offense. They will get easier shots.
Definitely elevate the offense for sure.
On defense, I don't know.
But I mean, we just want to be able to say baseline. We think that Luka's a better player, pound for pound than Anthony Davis. Like we want to be able to say that. So he's gonna have to show that to us come playoff time. Like I think it's just gonna be that simple. But that's a good segue though. I have some more topics, but with the Luka Doncic and LeBron James, talked about how could they play together with the similar play styles that they have, both needing the ball, Through these games, I think Luka just played his 7th game with us, maybe 8th, something like that. I've almost seen Luka take a little bit more of point guarding responsibilities, distributing responsibilities, especially when LeBron's off the court. But when LeBron's on the court, it seems like he's becoming a finisher now. And by finisher, I mean he's finishing plays, like putting the ball into the basket. You're seeing the hezzy top of the key jump shot coming up a little bit more. We see him cutting to the basket, running the floor on the break. Like, how do y'all think this fit is working so far?
I mean, I think JJ Redick, like he does try to have them like on the court like separate, which I think does probably bode them well, just because of their play style. But like they do play well together. They do play well together on the court, like when on the court together. So like, I really don't see like any holes when it comes to them two. But I do think that Luka should maybe handle the ball more because he's not as good as LeBron off ball. That's what I'm trying to say. So maybe Luka should probably be like the facilitator of the team.
Drew?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, he's pretty lazy off the ball. We've seen that throughout the duration of his career. He just kind of stands in the corner, or stands at the top of the key around the 3-point line. Sometimes hands on knees, completely disengaged from the play. So I would say we probably should have the ball in his hands more often because LeBron does cut. Like you said, he does rim run. I've been thinking, like I've seen in the last few games, and I've been wondering if maybe we could put them in pick and roll action together and see what that would look like. I don't know how it would work, but I kind of want to see them experiment with that. Just because, like, if LeBron is the role man, that's dangerous. Kind of how the Bucks deployed Giannis when he kind of took that next step, and they won the finals. I would like to see LeBron in that role as the screener, and then he gets the ball and can do anything with it in the middle of the court. That would be interesting. So
it's almost like Steph and Draymond. That's what they do.
Nah, and I'm proud of this dude, Julian, bro. He acting like he watched basketball for real.
I know the game.
That was some good insight. Look at you.
I know the game, bro. You know this.
Look at you. Kudos. That was nice. LeBron, Luka pick and roll. That obviously could only spell damage for the opposition. I mean, that would be very interesting to see. I can't agree more with what y'all are saying. I'd even go as far as saying that Luka might be a more willing passer at this stage of his career than LeBron. Just from what we've seen, he has the ball in his hands 24/7, and he makes plays. So, no, I think he could really run our pseudo one there. AR, I think he's just been a Swiss Army knife that's keeping that together, though, because he has the ability to put the ball on the floor. He can shoot the jump shots, space the floor for you, and also play make with the pick and roll also. So, like, when you have three different guys that can do those things at a high level, it gets tough. It really does get tough. One thing I will say is we just cannot fall into isolation basketball. Like, if we can stay out of that, I know everybody has their ISO package, but if we can stay out of that, sky's the limit for this team. But I like the new look Lakers. I was skeptical at first, but it looks like they're on a good trajectory, and we'll see what they do at the end in the postseason.
Fact.
Anything else on LA?
No, if they had a real center, I think they'd be favorites for sure.
A real center. I mean, yeah.
In the West, for sure. For sure. Definitely in the West.
Let me just add also to the center thing. Well, what centers are we worried about not named Jokic? Exactly.
It's mostly Joker, but like even as you get deeper,
like
if you're going to face the Celtics, Porzingis is a problem.
Chet.
And Chet's he's not a big though. Like,
I'm not so worried about Chet,
but he's not a big. Like,
it's more just the teams that are big though. So big men, Mavericks for sure.
Don't know how healthy they'll be.
I'm saying if Anthony Davis is playing, Mavericks with Anthony Davis and two centers is an issue. Like that would, I don't want to see them honestly. It would be obviously this was what the NBA fan wants to see because Luka, AD, the trade. If we could see this as a playoff matchup, that would be special, obviously. But as a fan of the team, as a fan of the Lakers, I don't know if I want to see Anthony Davis and those two centers as well, or maybe even one of those centers. I don't know if both of them are going to come back. But Anthony Davis with a center versus us, I have no clue what we would do defensively versus that. So I don't know. But yeah, I think that's an issue. Mavericks are an issue. Celtics would be an issue. Obviously, Joker's an issue. Who's left in the West? Wemby's obviously done now, so that's good.
Yeah, so and after that, it's kaput. That's
yeah, after that, it's not so bad, but still. It's
the
more
Lakers
just rim
size,
protection.
They have size.
Lakers have size, but not size like not big man size. It's more big forwards. So LeBron, Luka are obviously huge. Finney Smith is big. Rui's big.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I'm looking at wings,
but
I'm looking at the West. There's no big men that are going to change a playoff series versus us that are not.
Yeah, I'm not so scared of Sengun. Sengun is tough, but in the playoffs, like I'm not so fearful of Sengun.
Sengun.
He's tough.
We get dropped off by Sengun, then 2-3 has to retire. That take 5 part. That take 5 part. We get dropped off by Zubac, 2-3 got to retire. That take 5.
Oh, and Zubac. I forgot about Zubac, but I don't think they're a threat so much with unless Kawhi is actual Kawhi.
By Zubac. 2-3.
Zubac is tough. You tried to compared to Walker. That was tough. But with Zubac,
we get dropped off by Zubac in a 7-game series. No, he's not that type of player. If we get dropped off by Zubac in a 7-game series, 2-3 should retire.
Zubac may average 20 and 10 on us.
There's nothing left. You got to pass the torch.
He may get 20 and 10 on us.
He probably will. Definitely will, actually.
I'd say 5 part. Now, this slide here, let me take the time first to apologize to Ian for the past couple weeks. I have
years.
What? You
mean years?
No, it's really been weeks. That the perpetual bullying that I've given you about this topic unbecoming. I think that for me, just to see the many different things that are going on with the Philadelphia 76ers is just like, unfortunately, as fans, sometimes you like to kick a dog when it's down. You do, right? We're capturing the flag at the end of the year. But there are a few things that we have to address. Firstly, I'd like to the first thing that happened, it was announced that Joel Embiid is out indefinitely with his injuries. I apologize. I should have how many games that Joel played this year. Let me get that up really quick, just so we are all on the same page. 82 game. It's an 82 game. I'm not gonna lie, this is less than I thought. So he's played 19 games this year.
Why is that surprising? He started the season like dumb late.
He played a full summer of basketball.
Yes, and re-aggravated it.
He played a full summer of basketball overseas, traveled with Team USA, came back to his team, the one that actually pays him, right? Where he's the franchise leader, the face of Philadelphia basketball. He came back and he was on 19 games. What happened in the summer, besides the Olympics, was also the guy you see in the middle of the screen decided to I know I put this in chat. Paul George signed a 4-year, $211 million plus contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. All guaranteed money, by the way. Average annual salary of $52 million. In 24-25, he's going to earn a base of $49 million.
Are you done?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I'm just getting started. You paid Paul George $211 million, knowing his injury history, right? Knowing everything about Paul George, you paid him to come over and propel your team from, of course, the second round to a championship contender. No, because I'm
ugly, bro.
Who's the? I don't know. Like, it's not that I'm looking to assign blame. It's just the fact that it's gotta hurt. I think it's gotta hurt for the city, the fans, to go through something like this. I'm gonna pass it off. I'll pass it off. Just talk to me about Joel Embiid first before we talk about Paul George.
Well, I guess this is hindsight, but he should have probably just got surgery last year, fixed it last year. What do you mean?
I'm sorry. No, keep going.
He shouldn't have came back in the playoffs because he was obviously still hurt. Like it was obviously more than just rest. Like he needed an actual surgery or a second surgery or whatever he needs. But yeah, I think that if he got that surgery, he would have been fine because now it's just swelling that's messing him up. So he can't really do anything or run on it. So I think the surgery will help him. We just have to see if he's back to his dominant self. Like we were forgetting before Andrew Wiggins dove on his leg for no reason and tore his meniscus, he was averaging 36 points per game, leading the league by 5 points per game. No one was close to him. There was no one in the league as good as him at scoring the ball. Now, Paul George. I never thought it was the greatest signing. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little skeptical, like you said, he's injury prone. But I thought he would be fine, But obviously he wasn't. So it wasn't the best move. But I do think we still have time to figure it out. Like if we see Joel come back next year, healthy, even 80% of what he was, I still think we have a chance.
Let me ask you something though, Ian, because I want to keep this in the frame of Joel before we go to Paul. So you're saying that he should have years ago decided to? I'm sorry.
No, last year when he tore his meniscus. This is the only reason he's having injury problem right now with his meniscus, or going on and off the court because of that tear in his meniscus from last year around January, and he rushed back for no reason, or not for no reason, but he rushed back for the playoffs. But we should have sat him. We should have given him the
second round exit.
If what you're saying is true,
first round. I mean, we were the last seed because he wasn't playing.
That's ridiculous.
We played the Knicks. We played probably the best team in the East. Second best.
With Joel though, yeah. So does that not mean after you guys bowed out that he should have taken the summer to rehab his body, get 100% so he could fulfill his end of the contract that he signed?
Well, it wasn't. I don't think that really mattered because we see, bro. Once he started, bro, he was 100% healthy at US for the USA team. That's an actual fact.
He was 100% healthy on Team USA.
He was that's what he says at least, and then that's what the doctors say at least. And then what happened was this year he re-aggravated it because it just kept swelling up. So it obviously wasn't fixed. He obviously needs an actual.
He wasn't 100% playing with Team USA if he had an injury that he could re-aggravate.
What?
What do you mean? What?
Bro, you can re-aggravate an injury anytime. Julian can tear his Achilles tomorrow.
Chill.
I'm just saying, anything could happen. You're reactivated. Julian's healthy, but anything could happen.
And what he did was irresponsible. Not only him, his
irresponsible is crazy.
His doctors, his medical crew, what they did was irresponsible. Julian,
how do you as a Philly fan not get angry thinking about Joel Embiid playing in the Olympics and he wasn't even ready for the beginning of the season this year. Like he spent the time in the summer playing basketball for the Olympics, earning a gold medal. Good job, congrats to him. But he was not even prepared to play for his real team at the beginning of the season. He sat out for what, weeks? It was like weeks to start the season. That's ridiculous.
Well, what actually happened was he was losing weight. If you actually peep him over this or after Team USA, he had lost like 20 pounds just to get in shape for the season. Like he was actually preparing for the season. I guess he just re-aggravated it, like trying to do that. Like he just wasn't 100%. He thought he was, but he wasn't. Like, it happens.
Preparing for the season during the season.
What? I'm talking about before, after Team USA, he had won the chip. He won his gold medal. You know, he was turning up with Team USA after dominating Jokic. What are you looking at like that for? He did. But anyways, he was fine. He lost lots of weight. He was actually training and lost like tons of weight. Like this is the best condition he's in like his whole career. And then he just gets hurt because he wasn't 100% or his knee wasn't 100%. It happens. Like I'm not gonna fault him just because his knee wasn't 100%. Maybe he shouldn't have played summer. You can say that. I agree with that. Maybe he shouldn't have played in the summer. But I think it still would have re-aggravated at some point.
Does it not make you angry that that's your franchise player though?
Obviously, it makes me angry. Obviously, I would like him to be healthy, but it's not in the cards for him.
Do you not think that it's time to move on?
I think there's no point of moving on from Joel Embiid because you're not going to get anything for him. And the point is, if you're going to trade your franchise player that you invested so much time and money in, you need a haul. Like we're not going to get that. So I think the best.
It's not like he's giving you anything though. You've never what did he give you?
What?
What is he giving you?
What do you mean?
I don't agree.
Joel's done nothing for the Sixers.
That's stupid, bro. He's made us a playoff team for a decade, like a
playoff team,
a clear like top 5 team in the East.
That's what we're talking about,
bro. And that is what we're talking about. Bro, not everybody can say that.
Most good players can say that.
That's not true.
Yeah, it isn't true. What do you mean
most good players don't take their team to the playoffs?
What is most? Like, what are we talking about? Like, what
any good player, any player who's near a max contract can take their team to the playoffs.
Bro, Luka missed the playoffs 2 years ago with Kyrie.
They missed the playoffs. They missed the playoffs after they were injured, and then Kyrie and him came back.
Oh, so we've never been injured?
Of course you've been injured, but even that's why I don't even understand your statement, because even during the time that you were a playoff team, a lot of the time Joel was out. So I don't know if it was him making a playoff team. You got James Harden.
How do you think we won those games? How do you think we were in position to win games?
Playoff team.
Julian, why do you think we were in position?
Well, Embiid was out most of the time.
Dude, James Harden played 20 games that regular season. What are you talking about?
You're talking about one season. What's the most games Joel's played in a season?
68.
And how many times has that happened? Has he played 50?
I think he's played 68. He's played 68 once. He's played 66. Then other than that, it kind of drops a little bit. The 50s, and, low 60s. So
I don't think that he's the one who.
Bro, he plays 50 to 60 games a year. He accounts for
missing 30 games a year. He's missing 30 games.
He still accounts for 90% of our wins. You think we win after Joel Embiid goes out? You really think that happens? Bro, when he went out and Maxey had to carry the team, Maxey was losing almost every game. Like we went from
at the end of last year
to 8th seed in like a matter of a month or two.
I said at the end of last year, Ian, you have a bad man on your team. And it's been evident since the beginning of this year.
They do got to let him loose. They do have to.
Evident since the beginning of this year. He called out your franchise player, your franchise guy, Joel Embiid. He called him out in the locker room. Joel Embiid isn't our franchise guy. What?
Joel Embiid has called Tyrese Maxey the franchise guy since 2 years ago.
Joel Embiid's not your franchise guy now.
Maxey is. Dude, this has been a topic for the past 2 years.
3 back
2 years. 2 years.
Maxey isn't. I don't think he's better. Obviously not.
This is extreme levels of backpedaling right now.
It is not
this is kind of gross to watch.
You want me to?
This is
You want
gross
me
to watch, sir.
You want me to show you the photo that Joel Embiid posts of Tyrese Maxey calling him the franchise? Do you want me to show you the picture? It was multiple years ago.
2 years ago. Like, what are we doing?
That's
Right?
his nickname. Like, I know y'all aren't you don't watch the Sixers games. Y'all aren't Philly fans, but Tyrese Maxey's nickname is the franchise, and it has been that for multiple years.
That's why I just said it. That's
It's been that for multiple years. It hasn't been
actual franchise player.
What?
You think he's your franchise player over Joel Embiid?
Dude, he doesn't get paid like Joe. So what are we talking about?
What?
What do you mean? What?
He's paid $50 million a year.
Dude, Joe Embiid
saying
is
that
a franchise guy. It's been that way since you drafted him in 2017.
The only reason that we can say that he's not your franchise player is because of how injury prone he is.
Exactly. So what are we talking about?
I can say that as a person who's not a fan.
What?
Morgan can say that. We're not fans. Okay?
What?
You're a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers. Look at Joel Embiid as their franchise player. Yes or no?
Maybe for the most of his career, but the last 2 years when he hasn't been on the floor, you think we made his name the franchise just for fun? You thought that was for fun? That's for
Yes.
That was for you. You think Joel Embiid gave Maxey the title, the franchise, just because he was straight on it?
Yeah, he's straight on the scrutiny, and we're gonna get into that. No, we'll
Maxey
get into that.
Maxey averaged 30 points.
Move on from Joel Embiid, and it's time to stop calling him a superstar. I'm gonna go ahead and that's the headline. It's time to stop calling Joel Embiid a superstar. Let's move on from him. We need to stop talking about him in news cycles. It's tired. Please record this. It's time to move on from Joel Embiid. It's time.
This is the last thing I'll say about the Joel Embiid situation, right? Then I do want to move on to his new teammate that he has here, because the new teammate, but anywho, and I sat there and I fought with you. I fought alongside you for multiple seasons where Jokic is the MVP. Jokic is the best big man in basketball. Jokic does this, that, and the other. He's better than Embiid, right? I sat there alongside you and said, wait a second, though. When Joel Embiid is on that court playing, he's an offensive juggernaut. He rebounds the basketball, and most importantly, he even defends. He's an improved defender over the course of his career, right? So we have to take that into account when we do this. But I can't fight with you anymore. I can't be on your side anymore because he doesn't show up.
Bro, he's hurt.
I understand.
The difference between not showing up and being hurt, bro, there's a huge difference.
He has not taken the proper care of his body throughout his career, which has led to his injury history. Bro, he was injured when he was drafted. You have to understand this. His body.
Stupid. You sound stupid. Shut up. Be quiet. Please be quiet.
He is a 7'2", 400-pounder. He has to be on a different regimen than a regular basketball player. He has not taken the necessary steps. His camp has not taken the necessary steps to keep this man healthy and active on the floor. Which is why we see time after time in the playoffs, he can get 2 rounds and then it falls apart.
Morgan.
1 round. He can do 1 round and then they get bounced out anyways.
That's why I can't be on the Joel Embiid side. We all know what he's like when he's healthy, but he can't. He doesn't show up, and he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
You said he's not supposed to do.
My only thing is, why do we look at this guy in this light when he gets bounced out? Like he's never made it past the second round.
Name a Hall of Famer. Name a teammate he's
had. Name a Hall of Famer who hasn't got past the second round.
Name a Hall of Famer who was with Joel Embiid in his prime. Name Joel Embiid's second best player he's had in the playoffs.
James Harden, Jimmy Butler.
Bro, those players were not in their primes when they played for Joel Embiid.
They were good enough.
Jimmy Butler wasn't in his prime playing with Joel Embiid.
What?
Didn't the next season Jimmy Butler goes to the finals?
Okay, but that Jimmy Butler.
Wait, did I make that?
No, not the very next. I don't think, Julian. Maybe the one after.
Yeah. So shortly after he went to the finals with no superstars on his roster.
Yeah, but to say that Jimmy wasn't in his prime. Jimmy's like 34 or 35 right now.
Jimmy just entered his prime, bro.
No, he did go to I'm pretty sure he did go to the finals the next season.
He did, but that was
Kawhi won our senior year of high school, and that was with Jimmy on the team. The next year was COVID year, and that's the year Jimmy went to the finals.
Okay.
He wasn't in his prime.
No, Julian, is that the same Jimmy? Is the Heat Jimmy the same Jimmy that you've seen before? Yes or no?
Oh my goodness,
Julian, you saw that Heat Jimmy before? He was on the Heat.
He was probably like 32 at that point. 30.
Julian, can you answer my question?
He's probably 30.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dude was like literally in his athletic prime, playing with the 76ers.
Jimmy Butler's prime is different from a lot of people's prime. He doesn't play like this, like other people. His game is not predicate off his athleticism. We know this.
That's fine, but I'm just saying that.
What are you talking about his age for? What does that matter?
What does that matter?
Why does his age matter?
Okay, he's pissed.
Yeah,
Hey, it's really coming out now.
I'm just confused.
So
you're hurting. Hey, I understand. As your homie, I know that you're hurting right now, and I'm sorry.
I'm just confused.
Hey, I know that you're hurting right now, and I'm sorry. We're with you, but not really though.
Bro,
definitely not really. Because I'm dead, dude. Because dude right in our face right here could make the Hall of Fame, like easily. Like, he could actually make the Hall of Fame. So it's just like, you know,
NBA Hall of Fame. These guys will all make the Hall of Fame. NBA Hall of Fame is not even that crazy to get into.
It's gonna get crazier as time goes on because the stats are. Everybody has stats now, so we'll see. But Paul George, I still believe, will be a Hall of Famer once it's all said and done. Like, we talk about this guy, combo guard, 3-and-D. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, he's averaged 27 points in a season. Like,
I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah, you know, Paul George. But this is a great segue, though. I know I called him Paul George, but he got other names. You see what I'm saying? He got other nicknames. He got podcast. He got playoff. He got pandemic. He got where's Paul though? You know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on. The list goes on. But this fool, bro, I can't even sugarcoat it now. This fool, man. He came on. He put his headset on. Geared up his mic. Got his homeboy to record him. He got up there and said that he is going to stop his podcast indefinitely so he can focus his attention towards his basketball team, the 76ers. Walk with me just for a second. Okay. Now, let's look at the Philadelphia 76ers. Actually, this is a great time too. It's March 1st. Okay, so it's the first of the month, right? Let's see here. Where are they? I gotta look down this. 20-38. So that's 58 games out of the 82 season that they played.
That is.
But now the podcast has become a distraction. He would like to focus his efforts, he said, on helping his team reach the ultimate goal. The reason they brought him there, to win a championship. Now, give me your thoughts, man. Talk to me. Talk to me about Paul.
I mean, I told you, I never thought he was the best option. Like, honestly, I thought we could have got more role players instead of him. Like, I thought he was a little bit too expensive, especially for his age. Like, I never really thought that was, like, our best option. But, I mean, he's still a great player, like, when he's healthy. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind him as our third option next year. Like, he's expensive, yes, but he's still a very, very good third option who can play defense.
You don't have a choice.
I mean, we could trade him. There are teams who wanted him at the deadline, but I don't think.
Not for that.
What? The Warriors were literally about to get him.
Talking about for that. You just signed him for $200 million for 4 guaranteed years.
Okay.
And
bro,
he stunk it up this year. He stunk it up.
But it doesn't matter. People still want Paul George, bro. They can
for 50 a year.
No, dude, you none of us has seen Paul George at his full potential on the Sixers. Like, we can be honest, he hasn't played with Joel Embiid or Maxey, like, or they have played together, but not much. Like, they haven't played together.
He's been really bad this year. Also,
he has been, but it's
really bad.
New team, bro. It's a new city. Like, this happens for every player who goes to a new place, bro. Like,
no, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It's happening with Luka. Like, we've seen Luka. Morgan was talking about how people were talking down about Luka, and Luka just had
for a week.
Yeah, that was literally after 2 games.
Yeah, but Luka, I'm just saying it happens to new players and new teams. Luka's on a different level than everybody. Obviously, he's not gonna look the
60.
same.
I'm saying it doesn't usually happen for 60 games. By the 60th game, you should have
Oh.
adjusted to your new team.
Paul-
Like I don't. That's not an excuse to use
Right.
anymore. We don't. Yeah,
Paul
like come
George-
on now. We
Paul
don't
George,
say
Paul George has played like half of the season, bro.
Right.
that's part of the issue. Also,
Oh,
he's not
man.
even playing.
He's hurt.
I
What do you want him to do?
Hold
You
on.
want him to fix his pinky? Like he can't. He's not. Like what do you want him to do? I don't know. You bring up Austin Reeves for,
I mean, yeah, he's hooping better than him.
but is he better than him?
Yes.
Yes or
As
no?
of-
With the
As
Lakers
of
have
right now,
yes or no? With the Lakers have Paul George or AR right now?
they'd
Money,
rather have
money
Reeves.
isn't a problem. Money isn't a
We'd
problem.
rather have Reeves. The Lakers would rather have Reeves right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, you'd rather have
Reeves.
Reeves. I'm glad you slid in the money thing because, like, the money makes it crazy. But, like, yeah, you still.
Yeah, I
right
don't
now,
have
for sure.
No, I don't believe that. But you just
I
said
do
AR
believe
is a
that right
cone.
now.
Bro. You just said AR is a cone. Bro, what is he? 6'4", 6'5"? Come on,
Okay.
bro. Come on, bro.
6'3",
Come on, bro.
6'4", yeah.
Paul George is 6'8", and he's an elite a third option, bro.
He's so trash this year, though. So
He has been, bro. But he hasn't, bro. His second best player was Jared McCain for a majority of the season, or Tyrese Maxey. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on.
We can make whatever excuse we want to make, but let's just get real. I'll bring it back for a second, though. Let's get real about this, because it's not even the fact that Paul George isn't playing well. Well, let me see what he averaged last year.
he's playing well last year.
But
He
it
was
could
also
have
the
been
number
like,
one option, though.
I mean,
for sure.
but if it was like 24, then yeah, it was about 23. To me, it's not even about the fact that Paul George hasn't played up to standard, up to par in his first year, because to Ian's point, if Joel Embiid's not going to be out there, y'all won't be a serious team anyway, right? So it's kind of kaput anywho. But this is the issue here. So you mean to tell me that throughout the entire course of the year, podcast wasn't a distraction? It didn't have any effects to your game mentality or willingness to, go out there and help your team reach the ultimate goal? And let me also add, fulfill your contract obligations, right? But now it is in March, after you guys are in the bottom of the East.
Bro, it's obviously just a new look. Like he doesn't. It's just a bad look for him to have a podcast while we're the worst team.
He's had a podcast for years.
Yeah, but he hasn't been
Bad look
on.
now?
Bro, he hasn't been on a team as bad as this, as injured as this. Like we're just in a bad spot right now. Why would he have a podcast up talking about us losing?
And you believe? Well, I won't get there yet. First of all, he has a great podcast. He doesn't talk about y'all in any negative light, anything like that.
I didn't say he
We
did.
didn't talk about y'all in a negative light like that. So what happened was, Ian, is actually he's been reading comments. Oh, because they got stats out there. It's something like, I think Paul George got more podcasts this year than wins with the 76ers. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, we're talking about you right now. He heard it. Now he wants to shut it down. Let's take it back to the pandemic years ago. And I want to be completely serious while we're doing this. This is not a joke. This is not me trying to be funny. Paul George went through mental health episodes during the course of that bubble. That was something that was documented. It's documented not only by other players or that were around him. Doc Rivers was dealing with that during that time as well. Paul George has opened up about that. So I know for a fact that the hatred, the vitriol, the scrutiny that he's under right now in the city of Philadelphia with the most passionate fans that we have in the United States, he's seen the comments and now he's being self-conscious. Oh, I need to, I don't like that they talking about me now. Like I need to, that's what's happening here.
Self-conscious is crazy. He's just aware. It just looks bad, bro. He's just not an idiot. I'm sure upper management told him like, "Whoa, we gotta tone this down. We're losing way too much for you to be on national television." Like people be saying the same thing about Michael Parsons. Like, what does that matter?
If you don't want to say nothing, Drew, he's getting paid $211. He can do what he wants to do off the court. A couple hours on a podcast is not going to translate into more wins on the basketball floor. Let's just stop it.
Yeah, I don't think that they told him to get off the podcast. I would actually be shocked if they did do that because they know that comes with Paul George. Like he was on the podcast when you signed him, so they knew that he was going to continue that.
Stop it.
Yeah, but they didn't know that we were going to be in turmoil with our team and everyone's injured, bro. Like, there's no point. What's the point of him going on the podcast?
He has to shut down his podcast because your team is injured.
I mean, that's not why, but I think it's because we're bad and injured.
Yeah, y'all are booty butt cheeks. We know this. Y'all need to blow it up if we're being real.
Why do we need to blow it up?
Because your team sucks. You suck.
I mean, I had a whole slide.
Your best player can't play.
On the slide, like
I'm saying, yeah, your best player, he can't play half of a season. Okay.
Bro,
he's never got past the second round. He's never got past the second round. Your second best player, he's really your best player and the leader of your team, but you haven't really anointed him as the leader of your team yet, which is really like, I feel like that's where it's all going wrong because Tyrese Maxey is the leader of your team while he's not the best player of your team. So it just doesn't work. Like the balance of power is not
working. They also put 211 more towards another scorer, another guard, another ball handler. That's what they did.
Your third best player, just look at the numbers on the screen. Look at him.
Bro, what is he supposed to do by himself? I'm confused. If he doesn't have Joel Embiid,
$100 million in he
got that money because
Paul George is supposed to do better than this.
Obviously, he's supposed to do better. But I told you, it's a new city. It's a new team. Bro, he's never played with these players before. He's never played with an elite big man before. He didn't even play with Joel Embiid. He's never played with a guard like Maxey. Like, come on.
D'Angelo Russell took Karis LeVert to the playoffs.
Who?
Karis LeVert.
Dude, bro, that team
was fully healthy, bro. And that team got swept gentlemen swept by Joel. So I'm confused with
Karis LeVert and Joe Harris.
Ben Simmons, by the way. Ben Simmons. He gentlemen
Karis LeVert and Joe Harris.
Yeah, okay. Bro,
200 plus guaranteed for 14.
How many games has Paul George even played this year? I'm confused.
Let's find out.
I don't know.
That's
also an issue.
That's part of the reason.
Yeah,
no, losing all these games. He hasn't even played that much.
Bro, it's not all Paul George's fault. What y'all should do is send everyone else out. Joel Embiid has to go. Paul George has to go if possible. Everyone who can go should go. Just to keep Maxey and Jared McCain and go from there because it's looking grim for y'all.
Too. You add Flag with that mix, then maybe we could talk.
Yeah, but they're out of the flags. I feel like they're going to be out of the flag sweepstakes unless they get lucky in the
what are you talking about?
What do you guys like fourth in the? You guys are fourth from worst.
Actually,
I think you guys are fourth from worst in the East.
No, our pick is top 6 protected, but we'll definitely be top 5.
I mean, you're not getting Flag then. You'll get a good player, but you're not going to get him.
But we have I think we have the 4th best chance to get this number 1 pick or the 5th best.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the standings, but I think that you're 3rd or 4th from the East. The Wizards. The Wizards are below you. The Hornets are below you. The Raptors are below you. And yeah, you're right with Brooklyn. You're a half game below Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think we're gonna lose. We're probably gonna lose a lot more games. But
that's just on the East side. The West still has Utah, New Orleans below you too. So that's 6.
Shameful.
So now if I was y'all, everyone should just get shut down at this point.
But y'all don't ever bring up the point that Joel, half of his injuries are just freak injuries. Someone dives on his leg.
I don't care, bro.
Someone elbows his face. That's happened twice.
I don't care. We have to stop. Like I said, we have to stop talking about Joel Embiid. He's not even worth the conversation because he doesn't play when it matters. He doesn't play. All right. As NBA fans, we care about the big moments in the NBA season, which is going to be the end of the playoffs. Typically, the first round of the playoffs, we care, but not so much. Like it's it's just like a tease for what's to come, right? Joel Embiid has only played a few series in the second round, and he loses every single time. We've never seen him on the ultimate stage in the finals. We've never seen him on the stage below that. We've never seen him in the semifinals.
I'm confused.
He can't get there. So why are we talking about him like he's some guy who's like a super monster? Like I understand he scores a lot,
bro. That's the reason why he hasn't won.
But I'm just saying, like, come on now. This is getting ridiculous. He's never even made it to a semifinals. Why do we care anymore?
Bro, there are a bunch of athletes who don't make it far. What is that?
Name one player in the NBA who we revere, right? Name one who we revere. So you can
name MVP.
You can go, yeah, you can name MVPs. I don't think that you'll find any, but you can go lower to like top 20 players.
What does it matter if you get to a conference? Why does it matter if you get to a conference championship if you don't win the finals or even get to a finals, bro? What does that matter? At the end of the day, you lose.
Yes, that's true, Ian. But like, it's like you're not even getting close. Like you're not even close to getting there.
So you think it's Joel's fault that we don't get close? You actually think that?
I think that he's not enough to take you there. That's okay. Evident at least.
No, that's all I needed to. That's all I needed to know. So So it's not his fault.
That's just the data. I'm saying he has proven to not be the number one option to take you to a conference finals or to a finals. That's facts. He hasn't. That's never happened. And plenty of chances. You have had plenty of time. We were trusting the process when we were in middle school.
Okay, so let me flip this to a different sport. Why does Lamar get looked at? And why does
been to a conference championship?
Oh, he's been to a Super Bowl, bro. He hasn't won anything.
Okay, it's the NFL. It's one game.
Negative, bro. His playoff record is negative. His playoff record is negative. He's never been to Super Bowl.
This is where you go wrong. Number one, because stars matter much more in the NBA than the NFL. Okay, so I don't like when people start comparing basketball to football. It's much different. Number one, in basketball, you have a series.
They had 9 All-Pros, bro.
They went to the conference championship and lost to Patrick Mahomes.
No, they didn't this year. No, they did not.
They had last year. They had 9 All-Pros last year.
Last year. Oh,
but yes, that was last year. I'm just correcting you. Yeah. I'm correcting you. Make sure your facts are right when you try to address me. Anyways, though, the difference is stars matter way more in the NBA. There's 5 players on the court versus 11, and that's only on one side of the ball. Okay. So this is why stars get much more credit when they win, typically, right? When LeBron wins, we look at him as a greater player versus when, I don't know, insert random quarterback. When Matthew Stafford wins, we don't look at him at the top of the league, you know?
What?
We don't look at him as a top player in the league. I'm talking overall player. Like, yeah, we say he's one of the better quarterbacks, but we don't think he's him. You're not on top of the league. When an NBA star wins, you're on top of the league. Facts.
That's not true because when Giannis won, you still didn't think Giannis was good, bro.
That's not true. When Giannis won, I literally said that's a like a bold face lie. When Giannis won, I said he absolutely changed my mind about how I swear on my life on everything.
I do.
When Giannis won, I said I literally said Giannis has proven to be a different player than what I used to think of him. I used to say Giannis, similar to Joel Embiid, was not the guy who could take you there. And then to the point I was making earlier about them taking the ball out of his hands and making him a screen or making him the screener, he became way more deadly and effective.
So was that his fault though?
What do you mean? Was that his fault?
Was it his fault that, like, it's not his fault he was being used wrong?
Oh my God. We can't talk about game plan. We're talking about the results. We're talking about what actually happened. He changed his game, became more effective, and won, and showed up in the biggest moment. So
but my
yes,
point
of course,
is,
I look at him differently.
But so my point is, he didn't play any differently. Your eyes
played differently.
Oh, he was playing the same.
Did play differently.
Bro, he was still playing at an elite level the year he was getting clamped. Like the only thing that changed was that the scheme changed and he won. That's the only thing that happened.
He dominated the finals. That changed.
He was dominating.
He developed as a player.
He was not dominating, especially in crunch time. He was not dominating in the playoffs.
Bro, in crunch time, he has never been dominating. It's always been Chris Middleton. In the finals, in the finals, Julian called Chris Middleton Batman. That happened. That's where this Batman thing comes from.
That was before.
Oh,
That was prior to the finals.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
Nah,
It was the finals.
Chris was Batman of the finals.
Batman.
Chris was closing. That's true. But I'm just saying,
he was
Giannis
closing.
did dominate the finals.
Always be closing.
And even in crunch time, Giannis dominated in the finals. Giannis played very well in the finals. That's why he changed my mind.
I'm dead. Take it to Colin Cowherd. Like when you close your eyes and you think of Giannis, you know what I'm saying? You definitely think about that lob over CP3 in the playoffs. You know, he's hanging on the rim doing this thing, you know what I mean? And then ultimately
And the block to close the finals.
Like you definitely see that. Like
and the free throws that he made to win the finals. All of this matters. This all
then
matters.
And then the next playoffs, he went on to miss 20 free throws. And then so he still
yes. Yeah, the next playoffs he lost. At the end of the day, he still is a champion and a dog.
Okay.
And we look at him differently. We view him differently because of that run.
But you don't. You still look at him as Robin. Like that's a fact, and I know it is.
You're right.
You look at him as Robin.
I just texted in the chat last night that Giannis is different. I was just saying, no, they have no chance to beat them because they have Giannis.
Yeah, we gotta keep.
You're crazy. You're
like Giannis has always been like that. That's my point. Giannis has always been like that.
Nah, Ian, but I'm a Joel Embiid fan, bro. Like, I really hate that we have to talk about the Sixers and your team like this and this. Like, I already apologize, but I can't sit here and be on that bandwagon if A, he doesn't show up to work, B, win those games. So until that happens, right, we can't have these discussions. I take 5 points. Now we have something even more serious to discuss. I was trying to get this in earlier because there's a lot in this. I had a clip, but we'll do without it. So Channing Frye, LeBron James' former teammate in Cleveland, stretch big man. I'm sure y'all remember him. He has a podcast too. I mean, everybody does. So on his podcast, he was talking with some other players about how nostalgia has killed the NBA. By nostalgia, he was alluding to the fact that we always have to compare and contrast our players of today with our players of yesterday, right? And in that, he also went to, as respectfully as possible, throw some jabs at those old stars like they aren't as perfect as we maybe portray them in media and in discourse, right? He talked about Kobe giving up in playoff games. He talked about Michael Jordan. You know, Michael Jordan did a number of things, right? But he's saying that we hold our players to a standard that does not even exist, right? Because nobody has even fulfilled that standard. And this is taken a different direction as well, because we've had a discussion for years now, really since LeBron has gotten older, about who's going to be the next face of the league, okay? Now, when we have this discussion, I want to define what it means to be the face of the league. And I need your help doing that. So before we continue and talk about this, can you guys give me some key characteristics of the face of the league? So we had LeBron, of course. In between that, you can debate, but we've had Kobe, right? We've had guys like Tim Duncan, right? Before that, of course, we had Jordan. Before that, of course, we had Bird. We had Magic. What are the characteristics that one needs to have in order to be the face of the league? Okay. Julian, can I hear from you first if you have anything?
I mean, you got to have flair. You got to have flair. You got to be exciting to watch.
Flair, swagger, excitement,
moxie, all those words. You got to be exciting to watch.
Okay.
You got to have some type of personality, infectious personality. We want to,
Do you think jersey sales go into this also? Okay.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, you need to win for sure.
Win what?
You need to be a winner. So people define that differently, but I would say you have to be a champion.
You have to,
or at least we think that you're capable of becoming a champion. So if we're talking about the next face, they may not have a championship yet, but we think they will get one.
There's some gray area there, but we can keep going.
There is. I feel like that's it for now.
You got to be marketable for real. Like,
Okay, that
That's
goes
facts.
to the first. Okay, well, actually, let's tease that out some. So that marketability thing, right? So you can't post guns on Instagram. Is that what we're trying to say?
yes,
Okay,
Yeah. Definitely.
somewhat clean cut.
you gotta have like
I think
you gotta
have
be
to
part
be a
of Nike
square,
or
but
Jordan.
Huh?
You have to be part of Nike or Jordan too, most of the time.
Possible.
I mean that's just how it happens. You know what I mean? But
I mean, not Steph. Technically, Steph wasn't.
technically, no, right? I mean, it's typically how it happens, but there are outliers. There always are. Okay, the marketability. So we have the marketability of the player. We have the flair, swag, excitement, the personality, right? Which will go into the jersey sales. It has to be a somewhat popular player, right? Right. In that fact. And then we said that you have to win something. We said NBA championship, but or you could be capable of winning an NBA championship, which to me means, if you win an MVP, right? I think you can be in this discussion.
That's fair.
I'd say so. Okay. Is there anything else that we're thinking of that you need in order to be the face of the league? Let me
You
add
need to
something.
be. I mean, I think the most important thing is that you need to be willing to take that on. That's kind of what we're seeing now. Like with the guys like Ant-Man, they kind of wanted to push him to the forefront, and he's like, "I'm cool." Like he doesn't. Like he doesn't even want that. Guys, like I think LeBron was lying. I saw what he said the other day, and when
did
he
lie.
said like I
He's lied
didn't
a
want to
lot.
be the face, he's lying for sure. I think that he absolutely wanted to be the face, and that's nothing's wrong with that. He should have been it. Like he was the guy who should have been the face. We pushed him to be the face, and he took that on willingly. So I think that you need to be willing to be that guy.
Now, when we go into willingness, though, Julian, I want to bring this to a more serious discussion, too, when we talk about the face. In my eyes, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, the face of the league is the ambassador for the National Basketball Association. What do I mean by that? He's the driver of the culture, of the advancement of the players and the league as a whole, right? So in that, we may ask a LeBron James after a basketball game, maybe what he thinks of the election. We might ask him about what he thinks about the poverty surrounding his area, his community, or wherever he's playing. We might ask him some things about that. And in that, we also would expect the face of the league to be someone that's in the community doing good for that community as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that safe to put on a face of the league?
No, definitely.
Responsibility.
Absolutely.
Okay. Responsibility of the advancement of the league and the NBA and basketball culture of basketball in general. Okay. We have a lot here. Now, Channing Frye said that nostalgia is killing the NBA. We want to compare our Jason Tatums to our Michael Jordans when they played 40 plus years apart. Okay. Now, all of these things that we said, take Michael Jordan. Did he hold up every end of this bargain to be the face of the league?
No.
LeBron James. Actually, Kobe Bryant. Did he hold up every end of the bargain in order to be face of the league?
I think so. Actually, yeah, I would say so for sure. Actually, even when he was in the league, like maybe not while he was so young, but like mid-career to end of career, and then post-career even.
Julian's
like,
right.
Sure.
Yeah, now Julian is right. Kobe definitely developed into that for sure. And after his career, he continued to do so as well. LeBron James. Does he fulfill every prong on what it takes to be the face of the league?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So let's talk after LeBron. Steph Curry. Does he fulfill every pro?
I would say so.
Okay. Who's next?
We don't know. That's the whole thing. Like we don't know.
It was supposed to be Ja.
I don't think that Ja was a good fit though. But they
Yeah, he
wanted it to
definitely
be
was.
Ja.
Yeah,
They
they
wanted
did.
it to be Ja for sure. Then they wanted it to be Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I think right now they maybe want it to be Wemby. I
It's
don't know if he's
interesting
willing to
that
do
you're
that.
saying they want it to be. It's very interesting that you're saying they. This imaginary they want these players to be
Yes, they.
the face of the league. Michael Jordan wanted to be the best, greatest basketball player to ever live. Kobe Bryant wanted to be the greatest basketball player to ever live. LeBron James wanted to be the greatest basketball player to ever live. I don't know about Steph. I don't. Who else wants to be the greatest basketball player to ever live? We have a whole league. We have 30 teams. Everybody's a superstar. Who wants it?
At this point, just Wemby or Luca, I think. Maybe
Who?
Ant-Man.
Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
Luka Doncic. Cracking beers after the game. He wants to be faced.
He still averages
No, he doesn't.
double.
I don't care what he stats. We didn't say anything about stats.
Julian did say stats.
No, he did not.
Well, he implied it. He implied it. He said MVP.
Okay. I mean, you have to win something. That's what he said. You care about your stats?
Stats matter.
Maybe for
they do. They do, but like I don't know. I would be surprised if he didn't want to be that, but there's been nothing that tells us that he does. You know, like I think Morgan's looking for evidence. Like there's guys who I would say probably do. Like I think Ant-Man has the mentality to want to be that. Like I really do. The way he is so aggressive, the way he cares. And you can see that he actually cares while hooping.
Nope. Not anymore.
I'm just talking about on the court. I think he does. Off the court, I don't think that he cares. On the court, though, I think that he wants to be the best for sure. He's a dog.
Julian, again, the only thing we said that's on the court is you winning a championship. That's
we think that you can win. And he's young. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, those guys are so young that we can't hold them to winning a championship just yet.
Okay. Let me blow y'all up really quick. You mentioned that I'm looking for the evidence that you want to be the face of the league.
Yeah, you're looking for evidence. Like, the difference is in past generations, I thought it's just a generational shift. So we became softer as time has went on. We all know this. Like, this is true in sports, and this is true in general society. We know this. I don't know why you're throwing up Tatum because I don't think that he wants to. I don't know if he wants to be the best player. I don't know.
That's why I am. That's why.
You think that he does?
He does not.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whoa.
I think that he does, but we don't know that.
I think he does.
I think he cares a lot actually, but we just, like I said, it's just a difference in the way they go about it. So when Mike came in, Mike wanted to take it from Magic and Bird, right? Like that was clear. He was open about that. Like, I'm gonna take these guys down. When Mike was there, Kobe wanted to come and take it from him. He's like, this guy is an idol for me or whatever. This is a guy I've molded my game after, but I want to take him down. I want to be better than him. When LeBron came in, I want to be better than these guys. I want to be like Mike, all these things. Now, after that, like, no one has really, we don't know. We don't know.
Now, I wanted to bring up, what now?
I was just saying Wemby could fit that mold.
I agree. I think that Wemby will, but he's just it's too early.
It's way too early to tell. And God bless him. I hope he can play basketball for an extensive career. I like the way you described taking it from that person, right? And for a while, when Jason Tatum was young, I thought we were seeing that from him. I really did. And again, Ian's gonna scrunch his face up and act like I'm trying to disrespect Tatum. We know what Tatum's resume is. We get it. We get it. He has it.
You were just trying to discredit him, right?
He is an NBA champion as a Robin. He's an NBA champion. But what else does he have? What else does he have on here?
Marketability for sure.
Okay, so we see him parading around with Deuce. Does that make me want to buy a Tatum jersey, Julian?
Bro, he's light skinned, bro. Come on.
Jason Tatum is very. Jason Tatum is.
Bro, he's marketable, bro.
No, JT is very marketable. Like he is.
Yeah,
JT is very marketable.
He's very marketable. Clean.
He's on many endorsements. Like he has many endorsement deals. He's very marketable.
All it very marketable.
Well spoken, clean cut. Like I think he fits almost every mode on there.
Player, personality, excitement. Close your eyes. What's Jason Tatum's best celebration? What's his celly?
We did it.
What is it like? What?
Pulling up Deuce.
Nah, the best celebration was when he dunked on LeBron, when he came down the court, smashed on LeBron, and then chest bumped him.
On God, that's what I think of. On God, that's the exact way I think of when I think of Tatum.
What year was that, bro?
His rookie year.
That's his rookie.
Which matters.
This is his rookie year. That's why I said earlier. I thought it was him. Like,
but I don't think much has changed though, and I think that he can continue that. I think he can continue that as he grows. Like I don't think that Tatum is. I think Tatum is a dog, but he's just a more. I won't even say a more gentle dog.
He's controlled.
He comes off across as a more gentle dog. Like he's able to show us a different side of him, and like he shows us, like you said, him with his son and stuff like that. Like he seems like a nice guy. He's nice off the court. On the court, though, I don't think that he's soft.
Yeah,
he's not that at all.
Not at all.
He's not sweet.
And that's why I don't understand why people say they don't fear Tatum. They might not fear the idea of him, but when he's on the court, he's probably the best player on the court 90% of the time. So you should fear 95. Him. Yeah, even higher. Because he's a two-way player, elite two-way player. Should be very scared of Tatum.
Tatum is clean cut. He has the resume. He is an NBA champion. But he has given me nothing to suggest that he wants the responsibility of being the face of the National Basketball Association. You have to tell me that I am here to be the best. I am the best in the league. You have to tell me that.
Did he not tell you that? Did he not tell you that by winning the finals?
No, because he wasn't even the best player in the court. He wasn't the best player in his team.
He was very, very, very clearly 1B.
I think he was the best. I think he was the best player. I think he was the best player on the court.
He was not the best player in the finals, bro. And you put a lot of stock into the finals. We sat there, we watched it, we analyzed it. He didn't win Finals MVP.
I think he was the best player.
He wasn't. But it's just like, again, you've got to take it.
He does have to debate someone just does have to take it. But like I said, I think it's a generational shift. I don't think anyone will take it in the way that the old guys took it. Like those guys were very demonstrative about it. They came out and said, I want to be better than this guy. I'm next. Like I'm coming for you. There's no one's going to say that. No one is about to say that to LeBron. Or like, why? There are guys who would say that to LeBron. Like, hey man, like he did that to Kevin Durant last year. Like very clearly in your face, talking junk to you, clapping in your face. Beat him, came down to beat another star player. Like there are guys like, hey man, but I don't think that he wants all the other responsibility.
Yeah.
So there are, like I said, it's just different. I don't know if there's going to be a guy who's going to do all the things that LeBron did or all the things that Steph Curry did or Kobe.
Why?
People have different priorities now. Like I don't think that they care about that as much.
People have different priorities. Let's tease that out for a second. Paul George signed a 4-year, $211 million contract with the 76ers, including 211 guaranteed. Average annual salary of $52 million.
Yes.
Priorities are different, right?
They are.
I just want to use a metaphor, a real life example. So you get a cash prize if you win the dunk contest in the NBA, right?
I do.
You think Paul George needs that cash?
No, we know this. None of the players need money. We know this.
Okay, then.
None of the best players.
So, what's your priority then? I want as much of that as I can. I just want to be playing as long as I can, right? That should be the priority. I mean,
depends on who you are. Some guys know.
What guys?
Who?
What guys aren't in it for the money?
I mean, I don't know. You have to pick out. You have to go to a locker room and ask them. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there are guys in it who care more about winning than money. Just as if they're just as the opposite. There's guys who care more about the money than winning. We've seen that many times.
And when I talk about guys, I'm not talking Josh Hart, right, Julian? I'm talking about our star players, right? So there are star players in the league.
Jalen Brunson took a huge pay cut just 2 years ago or last year to help the Knicks build a better roster. That happened. He's a star player, a superstar player.
Maxey did the same thing.
Well, Maxey's not a superstar, but the pay cut figure that's funny. No, Julian, it is cute. No, I get you. I understand. He did do it. No, he did it. He definitely got the pay cut. James Harden did too way back when with the Sixers. He definitely did. These brothers are still getting paid though.
They are, but it was a huge pay cut though. I'm talking like a huge one.
It's at the end of the day.
Doesn't Mikal Bridges make more than him?
Huh?
I'm pretty sure Bridges makes more than him.
I don't know about that.
If it's not Bridges, then it's OG. One of them makes way more than him. Factual.
I know he took a huge pay cut. It was a really big deal.
One of them makes way more than him. It's Bridges or OG. I don't remember which one. Whoever got the last deal.
Think about OG.
It's way more than Brunson.
I don't know about way, but
way.
No, the pay cut thing, it's always nice though. No, it definitely it's always nice. That's a cute argument to this, but again, it's so much money. I don't even it's so much money that just the average person can't even fathom what that is. Like how that even works.
Jalen Brunson makes $24 million this year. OG made $36 million and Cat made $50.
That's not huge with OG. Cat, I knew that though. No,
OG is making at least $5 million more than Brunson every year until 2029. He was making at least $5 million more than Brunson. OG and Anunoby. Just
$5
That's
million?
not a huge. At least $5 million.
I mean, it's
15. It's 15 this year.
Bro, Brunson could be making $50 million a year if he wanted to.
Brunson can get whatever he wants. That's a huge pay cut. 25 million to 50. Cat's getting 50 million. That's not huge. That's two more mansions. That's 2 more mansions.
2 more mansions. You're funny.
I mean, that's 2 more mansions in Cavs.
That's a few more mansions. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, like a Miami mansion or like a Hidden Hills mansion. Like, that's 2 more monster mansions.
Brunson did all that for no reason, but all I'm trying to say is, guys, is that the money is good. It really is. And when we talk about the priorities of these players, right? Once you pump in that much guaranteed money to somebody, I'd even argue that edge you may once have had. A lot of those cats lose that after a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're a business at that point. You're a businessman. You go
some
out
guys
put up.
That's true. But I think the hunger. They may lose like the hunger, maybe, to want to get money, which may be like they may lose their motivation to want to get money because now they're good and set for life. But I don't think they lose the hunger to be great. Because even if you're in it for the money, you want more money. Like you want to keep being great, making more money, and winning gets you more money. Like I don't think that's true.
I don't know if winning gets you more money at this point.
It definitely does.
There are other ways, man. You keep consistent stats, you get paid more than some of them cats that win championships. Like
I'm talking about the best guys, though. Like the best guys. If you're winning and you're one of these guys that we're talking about, you're going to get a lot of bread.
You're going to get a lot of bread. I still, and we've had this discussion before about the NBA player of today versus back then. It also took a lot of bread to even get to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the trainings, the travel teams, everything like that. I think when we talk about guys who want to go down as the greatest, right?
We don't know any guys like that now. I feel like, and that's okay.
That's okay to you?
I mean, it's not okay to me. I'm just saying, like, that's just real. Like that's where we are right now. We don't know anyone who wants to be that. At least that we are sure of. I think that Wemby probably does. I do.
It's my last segue.
And I think that Luka does too. Like Ian said, I do think that. Does he go about it in a different way? For sure. There's guys like that who went about it in different ways.
Jokic.
Dude, you don't have to go about it the same way.
Dude, they were doing coke back in the day, bro. They were doing coke while playing. I don't think that they were treating their body as a temple.
What?
They're not. I'm saying I'm saying that's the only knock on Luka is like his conditioning and the way he takes care of his body, right?
He coming out of training camp sloppy and then can't slide his feet. And then we would have a greatest discussion. Like, no, that's not how this works. Like,
that's fine, but I'm just saying those guys were doing lines of coke right after the game and then showing up
sliding their puppies. Like, yeah, I don't know.
They were, yeah, because they were off of coke, so they had lost a few extra pounds, so they could. But like, I don't think that, bro. I don't think that they were just like I said. They weren't treating their body as temples or anything. I think it's just people go about it in different ways. I think that Luka does have that dog in him, as we've seen throughout his whole career. He's, went and faced giants. He faced Kawhi, who's, in my opinion, like he was the guy in the league at that point. Like in terms of the playoffs, like it wasn't really getting any better than that. He went toe to toe with Kawhi. Did he lose? Yeah, it's hard to face a giant. It's tough sometimes, like it's the cloud. He ran into cloud. But on a serious note, he always rose to the occasion for real. So I do think Luka has it in him. I do think Wemby has it in him. Like just from what we've seen from him growing up, like we've heard about him for the last few years. Coming to the league, like he's been a dog. He talks junk. I've enjoyed what I've seen from him so far.
This is way too soon.
It is, but I'm just saying, Ant-Man. But it won't be a LeBron. I don't think that we're gonna. LeBron's the reason we call people generational is because they don't come around very often. We're not gonna get another LeBron. We may get a LeBron-esque player in basketball, but we're not gonna get the totality of LeBron, like the business acumen. Like he brought his friend up, became the number one agent in the league. Like we're not gonna get that again for a while, and that is okay. We don't need that.
Doesn't have to.
I do want to touch on the point though, the Channing Frye thing. I don't think that nostalgia. Okay, I don't think that it's a fair thing for him to say that nostalgia is ruining the game because, look, it is true that people do compare past eras to this era. That is true, but I think that the new players and the new age fans are also inviting that. For example, LeBron himself, he has self-proclaimed himself the greatest player of all time. What was he on Barbershop? What was that thing called? Barbershop Talk? I forget.
Yeah, something like
whatever it was. Yeah, he was on the HBO Max Barbershop show. He won a championship and then proclaimed himself. That one, he said, yeah, that one made me the greatest player of all time. Like, okay, if you say that, now we are able to compare you now to LeBron, to Michael Jordan. We're able to compare you to the other guys. I'm able to compare you to Kobe. I'm able to now talk about things like you having the worst failure in finals history. I'm able to talk about that.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's not hating. I'm just saying it's not hating to talk about it. It's not hating to bring those points up because those are things that actually happen.
But
now
I think
you've put yourself on a pedestal. He's now put himself on a pedestal. His fans have as well. They've anointed him as the king, right? He's been called the king since before he's in the league. So now
before the league.
Yes, that's now bringing you another level of scrutiny when you get into the league. And now at the end of his career, we can scrutinize the times that you've fallen short of being the king of the league, of losing, of failing. And that's okay. We also, it's true. I mean, everyone has failed, but I'm just saying we're going to talk about it. And it's not fair to say that we just want to get back to Michael Jordan and Kobe, and we hold those guys as gods and things like that. When you're comparing yourself to them by calling yourself better than them, he's calling himself better than them.
He wasn't the first one.
What? To call himself the best?
No, to compare himself to Mike and Kobe.
He wasn't
even close. They were comparing. They were doing that comparison at 18, bro.
I agree. I think that he wanted that, but I'm saying when he himself now states this, I'm now the greatest. Like he says, I'm now the greatest. That opens yourself up to the conversation of, are you really the greatest? Now we can really get into that. You know what I'm saying? We can explore that conversation, which is what people do all the time. And it's not hating if they don't think that you're the greatest. It's not hate. And I feel like that's where we're in a space of hate right now. Like everything is now hate. I saw Stephen A say that. And it's not hate. It's not, if we call you the second greatest player or third best player ever, we're not haters.
Drew, can I also add something?
Go ahead.
Because you put it in the light of like a LeBron James, somebody that said that he is the greatest, right? Because not every player, not every superstar we have in the league has done that. You know what I'm saying?
No one does that. Michael Jordan didn't do that.
However, each and every game now, you know, and of course we have to use the proper context because the league we have now is not the same as the one we once had. Somebody's breaking an all-time record. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody is doing something to put themselves in an all-time light. So does that not mean that we can't talk about them in the lens of every basketball player that has played?
But he was put in that lens before he even got a chance to say anything about it.
But see, that's my problem though, because you can't say that nostalgia is ruining the game retroactively, right? So the same guys who are putting him in that conversation, right? So the same guys who are saying LeBron is so great, he's like Mike. He's going to be better than Mike. That's a compliment. The same bronze sexuals, we have a full. How's that not a compliment?
That's unfair. That's not unfair.
No, I don't think so. But the same guys, I'm talking about even now. The same. We have a full generation of people. We have a full generation of kids, right, or people our age, who we refer to as bronze sexuals. Right? There you are. You, my friend in the middle, are LeBron sexual. Yes.
Me?
Don't be proud. You know you are. Be proud of it. Come on, lean into it. Anyways, though, we have a full generation of people who think he's the greatest player, and y'all say, "Oh, Kobe's a shot chucker. Michael Jordan, he played versus plumbers." If you're saying that, right, that's you actively comparing him to people in past eras. So now when people do the opposite and they say, oh, the game is softer now, this and this, this and that, when they do the opposite and compare him to, or when they compare past players to our current era, now it's hating, which I don't understand. I don't think that nostalgia is ruining the game. I think that it's on both ends of the spectrum. I think that.
Can we just be honest that they don't really, I mean, everything in the past is just praise? Is that not true?
Some things
not true.
Oh, gosh.
Some things are, but some things are not.
Name one thing we heard about Michael Jordan's game on the court. Name one thing that we till this day say.
You mean a bad thing, a flaw?
Yes.
I mean, that was the whole point. Like they were pretty much saying he had a pretty flawless game.
Mike had a flawless game. That's what we're gonna believe.
I mean, pretty.
I'm confused at this line of discussion though. And what are you getting at though exactly? Well, nobody has a flawless game, but what do you?
I'm confused why you think that people comparing now is like why people compare now. People compare now to later because they don't think the people now are as great as the people in the past. That's true, but
Y'all do that in the opposite way, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and that's what I don't understand. It's okay when it happens in the opposite way. Last year, I had a probably a 2-day long exchange, and probably over 75 TikTok comments of people on TikTok coming at me when I said that Kobe was better than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I watched Kobe play. It's unfathomable to me to have a conversation about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being better than Kobe, but they're bringing to me all these stats, all these new things, and pointing me to a bunch of different things, saying Kobe played in an era where they were scoring 90 points in a game, right? So now they're downplaying that era, right? Is that not the same thing that's happening? They're downplaying a past era to boost up the guys of this current era. So now if someone downplays this current era to boost up guys of the past, they're now hating. But I feel like it happens on both ends. That's why I don't understand. But listen, that's what I'm saying. Why are we complaining about it? I don't think the nostalgia is ruining the game. That's just something that happens in basketball.
But why do you have to? But I understand you can compare, like, the greats, but everyone gets compared to Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Or
he's the standard. Those are the standards.
That's ridiculous.
That's the ultimate form of respect, in my opinion.
No, it's not. It's unfair. It's really unfair. Like, you can't.
That's the top of the top. That's basketball royalty at that point. If you find your name in the same conversation as Michael Jordan or LeBron James, you're him.
But the thing is, you might not have a Pippen or a Phil Jackson to actually. What are you confused about? You might not have
very confused.
You might not have everything you need to become that. So I think it's really unfair to compare them or to even think that it's even possible.
But it's not unfair. Is it not unfair? I'm just asking, is it not unfair when people say that the game is fans of today's game will say the game is the most advanced it's ever been because the players are better players, correct? I personally don't think that's true. I don't think that the players are better. I've said this. I think they prioritize different things because the game is smarter, I'll say. Like, the game is now transitioned to being played in a way more spaced out way. But I don't think the players are better. I think that they now work on their jump shot more than work on what they used to, playing with their back to the basket. It's two different games. It's two different things.
It is.
So I don't understand. I just don't understand how we can look at it from the lens of it's not fair when we compare these players now to the old players of the past when we're saying they're not as good. But when young people or LeBron sexuals, people of this generation, say these players now are better because the game is better, the players are better now.
Well, that's just wrong. It's just different.
Okay. All right.
But I just don't.
I think that's the whole school of thinking for all these people who are agreeing with Channing Frye. Most of these people who are agreeing with Channing Frye are saying the game is much better now.
I don't think that has anything to really do with anything. It shouldn't. Or in my opinion, it shouldn't. I mean,
let's shift though, because why are we having this discussion, right? We just got through going back and forth about what the face of the league is and why players of today may not want to be that, right? So let's answer that question. Julian, is it the nostalgia? Like, is it what Channing Frye is saying? Is it true what he's saying, that because we compare Tatum to LeBron or Michael Jordan, that he doesn't want to be them anymore? He just wants to go home.
If that is why, like, that's just completely soft, and like we shouldn't
LeBron double down on it.
Yeah, and
LeBron
he soft
down on it. That's what he said.
I peeped. He soft for agreeing with that. Like, that's just a completely soft way to view it. If you want to be the best player, of course we're going to compare you to the best players of the past generation. Like, what are we even talking about?
I gotta get where's the quote?
You can't call yourself the best player if you don't want to open yourself up to scrutiny. I don't understand that.
Why do you want to be the face of the league when all the people that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis SHIT on everybody? That's what
this is also what I meant when I referenced LeBron sexuals. LeBron is loved, universally loved. Like, LeBron does have haters for sure. LeBron has haters. LeBron has way more fans than haters. Ian. LeBron has.
It's not true. Your own Laker fans hate LeBron.
I have one question for you. One question for you. Name me one athlete. I want you to name me one athlete who in our generation. Okay, so people that we've seen playing any generation. That you may have a few. Like Magic Johnson, I'll say he's probably like he was universally loved, right? But like there was racism then, so maybe not. Like racism was more prevalent.
There's a lot with my Magic now. Like
yeah. So listen though, name me one athlete in our generation across sports who is more loved than LeBron.
You could argue Steph Curry.
No.
What do you mean no?
Not even close.
What do you mean?
Steph Curry's loved, but his fandom is not even on a similar level to LeBron. Like it's not.
Bro, it goes further than love. They even try to. Everyone in basketball nowadays mimics Steph Curry's play. Like
you could say he changed the game more. Okay, cool. I'm talking about who received more love. Tell me, name me one player.
Highest form of what is flattery, right?
Oh my god, imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Yeah, that's how you say it. But
you're stupid.
I forgot how you said it, but you said it.
Just shut up with this argument though, bro. Because we could just only related to Steph just because he's shorter. Like that's all. Like so, anybody could come out on the court and shoot some threes. Not everybody could windmill over
imitate LeBron.
Like LeBron through the lane. Like that's just why. Like,
but anyways, you can't. I want you to answer my question. Of course, you can.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the answer too.
I want you to answer my question. Name me one player who any sport who has received more love than LeBron. And I'm not talking about the hate. Throw the hate out. I'm talking about who has received more love than him.
Tiger Woods?
I don't think so.
I mean,
I know up there. I was gonna say maybe him, but like
I don't think Tiger Woods has any hate. I know every white person I know loves Tiger Woods. That's not true for every black athlete.
Not when the scandal was happening.
Yeah,
that boy was Cheetah Wiz.
But I'd say throughout Tiger, it's tough with golf because their careers are so. You know what I mean? Like he's played a very, very long time.
Right.
But in his in the thick of it, though, I think Tiger could be up.
He was universally loved. I agree, but come on.
But to LeBron, they call him luxurious.
You haven't named it. You haven't named anyone.
Like literally, Your Highness. Like,
well, it's hard. Who's been as great as LeBron at their relative sport? I mean,
it's not about greatness. I'm talking about who's received the most love.
Yeah, but you get love from being great, so it's hard to really compare. Like, there's not that many people on his level. Like, maybe like you could say Serena, but like
men, women. I was gonna say men and women across sports. I just want one player who's received as much love as him.
But it's not fair because he sees just as much as hate.
So now it's not fair that he's received the most love, right?
Well, he's just as much hate though.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
LeBron gets far more love than he gets hate. That's factual.
That's not true. Your own fans, after they want to
look at our own friend group. Just look at our friend group. Look at our friend group, right? Listen. Just use our friend group as an example, right?
Not fair.
And let's take our high school friend group. Across our high school friend group, how's it not fair? None of us are fans. None of us are fans of LeBron's team, right? Like we shouldn't be. I'm saying outside of being a fan of him, we wouldn't have been fans of LeBron's team growing up. Cleveland.
Yeah,
Cleveland or Miami. No one was a Miami or Cleveland fan. Fact.
Me, I was. Okay?
I'm saying outside of being a fan of LeBron, we shouldn't be. You were because of LeBron, is my point, right? We had no reason to root for him outside of being a LeBron fan. Facts? Okay, sure. Fine. So it's fair. So now, let's look at our friend group, okay? You can name, we don't even have to add names. The vast majority of our homies were LeBron fans and root very heavily for LeBron.
That's not even
only a few. There's only a few who didn't.
No, it was you, Morgan, Austin, Noah.
Austin?
Yes. Shut up. No, Austin was talking about some 3-7 in the finals every chance he got.
That's facts. Every chance. That's just facts.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
All right, but me, Mo, but even Mo's changed around though. Like
anyway, go ahead a second though.
Me, Mo,
no, but Julian, but you have to understand too. The people that you're naming, even if we did not give LeBron the same amount of flowers as LeBron, who'd come to PE class with LeBron soldiers on, right?
Yeah, this man had LeBron, every LeBron soldier ever, and LeBron jerseys.
It would always be from a place of respect, and maybe I'm speaking for myself. it's always been from a place of respect for LeBron James. Nobody has denied his greatness, but if he fails, we're not gonna just allow
to speak on it.
But you don't even speak on it, and this is the biggest part of it. You don't speak on it. You shit on him, just like he said. You shit on LeBron.
I get on LeBron nowadays.
No, not you nowadays. He was losing. There was like a whole month, a whole summer of just LeBron sucks. LeBron sucks. LeBron sucks. That's true. It happens every time someone falls short.
That's what we said.
Okay. And that's what Channing Frye and LeBron are talking about. The hate gets too much. Like, okay, he lost.
The point I was making was, if you just take a look at our friend group, it's just a nice sample of the population. Yes, it is.
It's half and half. It's damn near half and half.
No, it isn't. You know that. No, it is not.
Because there's not, the other half aren't Bron sexuals. Like, I'm a big LeBron fan, but maybe Sultan. Huh?
Like I said, lean into it. You're a monosexual. Don't hide that.
Is too.
Yeah, so it's just me and Sultan who are really big fans.
Miles.
Is he?
I don't know about that.
Miles definitely. Bro, ask Miles. Miles was a huge Bron fan. Miles? Huge Bron fan.
I never saw him back up all the LeBron hate in the chat.
Yeah, Jacob definitely was a LeBron fan.
Zoe?
Definitely a LeBron fan. Super fan, even.
I'm just looking at the chat.
Zoe was a KD fan.
Sunil. I'm just looking at this chat. Jason Escolar.
Definitely a LeBron.
You're just naming names. These dudes do not like LeBron like that.
I'm just reading the chat.
They don't like LeBron like that.
They do.
Those are all big, very, very big LeBron fans. Sunil, Jason.
Not true.
Jacob. Yeah.
Maybe Jacob and Sultan and me, but after that, Miles. But after
Miles. What Julian, the saddest part about it is we're going through all these days. I could go to my closet. I have a LeBron Heat jersey. I have a LeBron Lakers jersey. So it's just like, again, all this hate that you're talking about.
But
this is all
just a false,
in the same breath.
That's just a false narrative, bro.
No, I never said there was hate. But I never said there wasn't love, though. But in the same breath, there's just as much hate. And we can all admit, there is. Every time he lost, 3-6, 3-7. Oh, he can't do it as a superstar. LeBron will never, ever, ever be the GOAT. That's a conversation almost every day on First Take. Like, that's ridiculous to me.
Dude, that's not crazy. Let's take First Take panelists, okay? So on First Take, who do they bring out? Stephen A, right? He's not a Bron fan. But then let's take him for now.
Don't do it.
Shannon Sharp, right?
Bro,
this is the biggest Bron Glazer.
Let me just say something there for you.
We had JJ.
Hold on,
go ahead.
Just real quick though. You know, Ian feels disrespected because we aren't saying that LeBron is the GOAT. It's the same.
Why not?
That's somehow a form of hate and disrespect.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, Drew, keep going. My bad.
No, it's not.
You're talking about First Take as haters, right? So on First Take, the panelists are Stephen A. Smith is a no-go, okay? So this is a no-go for Bron. This is for Bron, okay? Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Kendrick Perkins, JJ Redick. Help me out. Who else is on?
You say JJ Redick?
McKay.
JJ Redick.
Andrews. Brian Windhorse. All of
Windhorse,
those guys.
Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy.
What about Paul Pierce?
He doesn't work with them anymore.
But he's a LeBron
sexual too now.
Yeah,
Paul Pierce is, KG is.
Paul Pierce is on the other side, bro. Paul Pierce is a hater.
He definitely
he is not.
Yes, he is.
Especially as he got later. Definitely not. By the time he was like in sports media, no, he was not for sure.
Yes, he was.
No. It's not true.
I'm trying to think. Who else is on there? Mad Dog, okay.
You got Mad Dog Russo. You got what? Jay Wright.
What's his face? I don't know. I can't think right now.
We had Kellerman at a time.
Kellerman would be one. Another one that's 6.
All them guys they love LeBron, by the way.
Yes.
They love.
Tim Legler.
Legs loves LeBron. Kendrick Perkins rides for LeBron every day. Every day. Richard Jefferson. He played with LeBron. Both of them played with LeBron. They love him.
That's 8. So it's 8. It's like 8-3. And we're talking about on First Take, it's a bunch of hate. Like they're just having debates, bro.
Nah, bro. LeBron he's bad at guys like Skip Bayless.
Yeah, Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless isn't.
He was the ultimate hater, but they bounced him out with a monster super glazer.
Yeah, it happened when Skip Bayless say like nobody even.
Yeah, like he's obviously just trolling. Skip Bayless was trolling.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Yeah, Shannon Sharpe was glazing to, I would say, a level just as extreme as Skip Bayless was hating.
That's exactly why he had to, though, because the hate was just getting too.
Nah, facts. That's facts. Bro. But I'm just saying, I think that I feel like you're over exaggerating when we talk about how much hate he gets. He does get hate, obviously. Every famous person, every person who's great is going to get hate, but it's definitely not similar to the amount of love that he gets. And I feel like that's just where the statement becomes BS, because now it becomes like you want us to pity you, and like I don't really understand it. Like
but that's what we're getting to. So now you can't be the face of the league, Jason Tatum, because you're afraid that we're going to talk about you like LeBron. Now you know who else you want to name. Ant-Man, you don't want to be the face of the league because we're going to talk about you like we do LeBron. We're going to do that anyway. It comes with the territory.
We're not pitying that.
That's crazy.
I thought that's just argument to even extremely soft.
It's crazy.
And it's even more soft for LeBron to endorse that. Like, it's actually ridiculous for LeBron to say that when he himself has proclaimed himself as the GOAT and has major media plants who push him as the GOAT and push LeBron GOAT propaganda. ESPN pushes LeBron GOAT propaganda.
You're lying.
So
Stephen A. literally says LeBron will never be the GOAT, bro.
I'm not talking about Stephen A. I'm talking about ESPN. They push major LeBron GOAT propaganda.
Bro, he's half ESPN. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, Stephen A's huge in ESPN. I agree. I'm just saying, like, come on now. I just feel like we don't feel bad for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna sit here and feel bad for you.
So there's no hate though. There's no hate.
Everybody has hate. Everybody gets
many times.
Everybody.
There's players
it's unwarranted though, in my opinion.
Dude, there's many players who get way more hate than they get love.
No, they do not.
D-Lo.
D-Lo, hey, I'm getting off, bro.
Not D-Lo. That would
he not getting way more hate than he gets love.
D-Lo, that's a different discussion.
Is that not way more hate than he gets love?
Bro. That's not the same.
Yeah, it's not
comparing
the same.
Apples and oranges.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
You said something like Russell Westbrook right now. Then maybe,
Russ.
But like, you know, like I said, Draymond Green, like, you know, those types of guys. But you know, whatever. Like, it comes with the territory. Like, I don't feel bad for Russ. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I really do not.
I don't think that Russ really cares. Like, I really don't think that he cares anymore. I don't think so.
Bro, he cared, bro. He got people kicked out of multiple games before. Like, what are we talking about?
They're like
that's completely different.
Because they called him Westbrook.
Heckling is much different from what we're talking about in the media.
Bro, they heckle LeBron, bro. They called him Mr. 3 and y'all called him Mr. 3 and 7. Y'all did that.
Yeah, it's more like media based. I'm saying we're talking about people in real life. Like, people were getting booked with Westbrook in real life. Like, you know, he wasn't going. Like, that happened in front of his face, and like to his like family. Like, nah, like, okay, he's not going for that. That's okay. But like, it's much different for someone to have Twitter fingers online. If I tweet about Brian, like, I don't expect for him to care, and I don't even be tweeting about him, and I'm not a fan.
You know how much people hate LeBron is like how much it shows. They hate his son. Like, his son gets so much hate.
No one hates the son.
No,
his son got a buddy pass.
Yes,
his son got a buddy pass into the league.
No, dude. Everyone knows that Bronny is good enough to make the NBA.
No, people, he is not.
Yes, he is. People are just mad that LeBron got him the special treatment.
Bro, pull up his college right now. And I'll pull up some guy in an African BAL league that's out hooping Bronny.
Bronny averages like 24 points.
Yeah, you know,
what are you talking about?
You know Isaiah Wong, Ian? Remember him on Miami?
Yes.
You think that he's way better than Bronny, right? Like, he was way better than Bronny.
Bro.
I mean, Bronny never got to actually play at college.
Isaiah Wong was getting buckets on everyone, right?
So you can be a
Isaiah Wong is going to the Euro. Isaiah Wong is going to the Euro League.
There are guys out there that are
same size as him,
better talents than Bronny James. That's the reason why he got so much hate and scrutiny, right? Because we know it's not a situation where he just all of a sudden on the Lakers, playing with his dad, getting
Mind you, the Lakers need to open up a roster spot for another rookie right now. We're not going to cut Bronny.
Facts.
We're not going to send Bronny to just a G League contract. That's not going to happen. And we need a roster spot right now. Someone else is going to get cut. I'm telling you, because Goodwin, it's Goodwin. They need a roster spot for Goodwin to be on the Lakers for the playoffs for the rest of the season. So someone has to go.
So y'all think if there was another player's son in the league who was good, wasn't great, came in, would get just as much hate?
No, I don't think so. But I also don't think that they would probably not have benefited from being whoever that person's son was as much as Bronny has to the LeBron's son. Bronny got into the league because of LeBron. They do, but not the same. Like D Wade's son didn't make the league. Zaire. Or like, I don't know, give me another example of any other player. Like Gilbert Arenas' son is going to make the league. Who? Yeah.
Michael Jordan's
son. Michael Jordan's son didn't make the league. Gilbert Arenas' son will make the league. Gilbert Arenas' son will make the league, but he's like that. like he's really like that. It's not the same. Boozer's son will make the league. They're the number 1 and 2 players in their country,
I mean, Ian from high school, bro. Like, bro wasn't the best player on his high school team. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, well, we see.
What? Bronny was top. He was a top 30 ranked player in his class.
He wasn't the best player on his high school team, though. Is all I'm trying to tell you.
He was still very good.
Go to college. You're not the best player on that team, neither. You're not close. You barely even play due to health issues. Now you're a league.
Bro, he was always good enough to make the NBA.
Always good enough to make the NBA.
He was top 30 in ESPN ranks. Like ever since he was like.
Do you not think that LeBron's son doesn't have a major effect on that?
I don't. He was still playing, bro.
You think he was better than? Okay, who do you think was better, Bronny or Will Richard from Woodward?
No idea. Probably Will Richard, but I mean,
Will Richard was a 3-star.
We never saw Bronny play in college, so we'll never see.
Will Richard was a 3-star in high school.
I think he was,
positive.
But maybe also, if Bronny played for the Pistons, I don't know if he'd get as much attention at all. Like, I think he'd just be another one of those second-round guys or wherever it was. He's doing this thing, I know he's LeBron's son, but it's like, whatever, but he plays under his dad's wing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not a coincidence. Like, we could be real about that. And LeBron's deserved that. Like, he has. He's given everything to the league. I mean, my goodness, his son can't get a roster spot. Like, oh, wow. We'll get rid of somebody else, Drew. Like, it's not that deep. But let's be real about it, though.
Yes, I don't know, bro.
All right, gentlemen. I'll hit you out. This is the bottom line that we got to get out this podcast for real. If you're afraid of scrutiny, don't be a professional athlete, period. Point blank. Anybody disagree?
No, I agree, but it can't be unfair scrutiny.
And life is not fair. I hate when you say stuff about, it's not fair. I hate when you say that. I really do. Nothing about this is fair.
But the media doesn't have to be like that. I think that's what the point is. Like, it doesn't have to be comparisons. It never had to be comparisons. Like, it's been comparisons ever since they put Stephen A. and Skip Bayless on the TV, and that's just stupid. That's what LeBron is talking about. No one wants to be in the front of that.
That's not true. We've always made comparisons in the media. It doesn't matter who it is. The media is more loud nowadays, right? We have more media outlets. Everybody has a podcast. I have a podcast.
Exactly.
We can all talk about it for sure. But the scrutiny is not this. It's not different.
It's amplified.
Okay. And so is your contract. Deal with it. Or don't. I don't care. Don't be an athlete. Give the money back.
Really?
Give it back to us. Like, I don't
care.
I
don't think that's fair.
It's just so, in my opinion, it's so. If you are one of the best players in the league, you should be able to be talked about, or you should be able to accept the scrutiny that comes with that. So
you should want that.
you should want to be in those conversations. You should want to be compared to Mike and Kobe and Brian.
Maybe it's a mentality thing, Drew. I don't.
That's what I say. Like I said, it's a generational shift. I think that people are definitely softer nowadays, and we see that.
But Ian in our same generation, he's soft. He's charming. So it's just like what
Most
happened
are
to him?
most are, but nah, he low key the generational shift was really 2000 to 2001. So Ian was a little late. Like he's a little late, bro. Yeah.
All right, so he's really on the precipice of that
Yeah.
new wave of of iPad kids for real.
I mean,
Crazy.
I try to rub some dirt in the wound and then keep
not a real dog. Not a real dog. You know.
I guess.
Hey, we know who the real dog is on the court. So all that matters. Well, look at that way. Whoa. Court's a different thing.
Podcast every week, man. Again, if you don't want the scrutiny, then just go home. Give your brand back. Be a salesman or something like that. Work the phone is what it is. Like, all right, John. Next week.